the torch experiment, like I don't know how it was for you, but I mean, you can tell us what you want to tell us, but he's different from anything you dealt with in the your first 3 years here. But what were your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I mean, he's just so brutally honest, and I think for a lot of guys, especially me being a young guy, like you're not really, you can't really prepare for anything like that. Like, in the past, coaches have been, whatever, but he just comes in, he just tells everyone and exactly how it is, and I think it's awesome for our group, especially just because we're so young, and I think a lot of times we need to hear that stuff. I do have a pretty funny story about him. It was probably game 5 or 6. We're in Florida, and we're on a back-to-back and whatever, and Florida was really good this year, and he comes in the room and he's like, guys, got to be honest, I think we're going to get fucking killed tonight. And he's like, I'm not trying to take the sticks out of your hands, but we got to play smart, and we got to, get pucks behind their D and whatever. It goes on this thing. We're all kind of like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
And we end up winning the game. So it's like,
Okay.
His message really gets through, I feel like, to a lot of guys. And like I said, he's just so brutally honest with what he says, whether it's, the day before a game, the day of a game. So I think for our group, he was great this year.
Yeah, I worked with Torts a few times with USA Hockey, and I think I've said it before, but I'll never forget we went into that the week of camp before the World Cup started. We played Canada and in Columbus, and Pacioretty's on the team. Max Pacioretty's on the team, and he benched him. Like he benched him, and I think the whole third, if I'm not mistaken. And I write to the media, like the media's like, well, I didn't patch. Well, he wasn't playing hard enough, and he told Patch, like, he goes, you don't want to play, like, you're not going to play. But I was just like, whoa. So I knew a little bit about him, and we've had other guys that have had him as a coach, so he is
no
brutally.
Secret.
Yeah, it's not a secret, but like you said, it's got to be a little, like, for a younger guy coming in there, like, whoa.
Yeah,
like
he catches you off guard,
yeah.
for sure, but I think his message is great, and he knows how to, get guys to play hard and motivate guys, and I think as we kind of go through this process of where our team's at, I think it's only going to help us in the long run.
Right.
Before we get off tour, just got to ask you about his training camp.
Yeah, that was crazy actually. There's no training. I don't think that's even going to prepare you. It's one of those things you're just gassed the whole time, but that's kind of what he wants is to play tired and to do that stuff and to do it as a team. And it obviously sucks when you're doing it, but after the fact, I think it only brings the group closer when you do stuff like that and go through that stuff.
I was gonna say maybe you should have waited another.
He's probably thinking that.
You know what? Pretty good, boys. Get out of that testing. Oh man, that's awesome.
But his approach is pretty black and white, right? I mean, he's trying to prove his point, obviously, with the training camp. As a player, you just want to know where you stand, whether you agree with it or not. Hearing it from the coach when he's brutally honest, it could bring some value to your play too, right? Because a lot of times guys are in denial. I mean, I coached for 7 years, and a lot of guys, like, they don't think that they're necessarily playing that bad sometimes, until you actually sit down and have to be brutally honest. So I think it just kind of removes that fluff sometimes where guys just like, guess what? You got to challenge the guy a little bit and be better, right? I mean, it's just
spot on.
So, I mean, I appreciate that, it's hard to be that brutally honest sometimes because, guys are just getting in the world of hurting people's feelings and stuff like that, but it's a business, obviously, and we're trying to generate performance and results. So I appreciate that as well. So
yeah,
hopefully you can keep moving this thing along in the right direction.